Hey folks, and welcome back to another episode of You Sold What? Hey, in these videos, or in this video, we're going to have a look at some sales. We're going to look at the highest, the best sale, what we would call maybe the worst sale or the bad sale, and then our ugly sale. We're going to base those on profit margins, so we'll look at what the highest profit margin was. We'll find a low one next to zero, if you will, and then we'll look at perhaps where we lost money. This is for last week. It would have been September 9th. It wasn't too bad of a week. If you saw my video on Sunday, our sales were up a little bit, and things are, I really don't want to say things are looking great, but or that we're maybe going back to the good days. So I'm going to hold that, reserve that, but things did look better last week. So let's go ahead and get into this. I will set a timer. Set the timer for 15 minutes. I like to try to keep track, keep these things brief. I also have an agenda. Keeps me on track. Otherwise, I get off on rabbit trails. Same thing I say every video. I need this list of things to keep me in line. I think the first thing we'll look at is our traffic report. Let's go ahead and bring up eBay, and we're going to look at our traffic report. And I know that I've said in the past that we used to be, and what used to be is no longer what is now. But I can't explain this. If we go through and look at more recently, the trend is up. So I don't know quite what's going on there. But hey, I'll take it, right? So the first day that we're dealing with is Sunday, September 10th. So our total impressions, there was 101,000. Then we kind of slightly down to 90,000. But anyway, you get the idea there. They're not too bad, and like I said, they're on their way up. That's a good thing. Let me pull this one up here past me. And this is the page views. And again, our page views are staying pretty consistent. They have been up more recently. So what was that? That was Saturday. Yeah, so Saturday and Sunday wasn't too bad. We'll save that for next weekend when we go over our numbers. And sales always kind of rocky for us. You never see these things straight across. I don't know if anybody ever does. In August, we were averaging about 4 sales a day. A little disappointing there. So far this month, we're looking at 5 sales per day. Not yet quite where we want to be. Again, those numbers I go into more detail. Spend a little more time on them during our Sunday videos. And that series is Know Your Numbers. Check that one out if you want to see a little more detail. All right, so that is our impressions. They are encouraging. So we'll see how they if they continue. Let's go back to our agenda here. And we want to have a look at our sales page. Say this every video. This sales page is where I record each and every sale on a daily basis, which platform it's on, the details. I will enter these sales into this first, and then I will transfer these details or these numbers over to Vendoo. Vendoo is not only our preferred cross-listing platform, but it's also where we manage our inventory. And again, I look at those. It has some analytics, and I look at those in more detail on Sundays. So we won't get into that today. I also will use this as a pick list. So for instance here, I have these in yellow with the SKUs are red, indicating they have not yet been picked and they are waiting to be packed. I do that because sometimes, as you all may well know, sometimes you might sell something back here, say on the 15th, but it doesn't get paid for until the 19th, but I would have recorded it on the 15th, so it helps me to identify it, to see it. It stands out, if you will, if I have it highlighted like these. Okay, so that would be our sales. We're going to go back here to the 10th, and I've already located the sale with the greatest profit margin. We're looking at 74.86%, so basically, almost 75. It was a Macari sale. We do sell on multiple platforms, so eBay, Macari, Poshmark, Grailed, and Depop. So let's go ahead and look at that. The SKU is B603-EN. Let's pop over here to Vendu, and we'll punch that in here. Let's go ahead and just looks like it was a dress, a Banana Republic dress. Looks like we first listed it on May 18th, so it's not been out there too long, not too terribly long. It did sell on the 10th on Macari. Looks like we do use Vendu labels, so really helps us quickly see, without going into the details of the listing itself, kind of some highlights of it, what we might have paid for it, what the condition is. Just very quickly help us identify those features when we are responding to or making offers. So we sold it on Macari for $15. Looks like the customer or the buyer paid for shipping, so we never saw that money. They purchased those labels directly from Macari. So the only thing that we record is the $14 sale, the platform fees, cost of goods, and then the profit. And keep in mind, although the profit is includes or is less the marketplace fees as well as the cost of goods, and if there were any shipping labels, that would also be reflected in that profit. But as you can see, that is the profit there. That's of course before taxes, so taxes are going to come out of that at some point. So that would be our best. This is a dress, as we can see. It's a Banana Republic. I don't know that whether it is vintage or not. I'm not the best at identifying them unless they're pretty obviously marked with the material contents and perhaps the manufacturer country. Pretty nice looking dress, Banana Republic. Was in good shape. Not sure if we could have got if we should have been asking any more for that. I think we did all right in selling it, being that it is a used garment. We can, for kicks and giggles, pull this up in Terapeak and see what we might see. Well, shoot. Sorry, excuse me. Let me get back to that. I guess we'll bring Terapeak up here. Suppose we can go... Where am I going? Act like I don't know what I'm doing here. All right. Bring that up. It is a dress. Let's go ahead and set our condition to pre-owned. Looks like we have 100 pre-owned. That would be sold, right? Yep, that's sold. And active, pre-owned. Wow. Okay. Yeah, there's a few of them out there, eh? Think if we go to sold, this tells us a sell-through rate. Probably not the greatest, but go ahead and sort. They are selling, and it looks like, I don't know, looks like they're all over the place. I got to be honest with you that these numbers, these sale prices, sold prices are all over. This one, of course, being an auction, selling for 18 as of late. Here, my goodness, that one just went for $5. But anyway, the average, it looks like it's $16. And we sold this for, once again, I went and did it again, didn't I? We sold it again for 14, so not too bad, I guess, not too bad. All right, let's go back to our sales sheet, and we're going to call a bad one. We really didn't have an awful one. I mean, any of these, I like to keep our profit margins around 30%. You know, obviously more is better, but the minimum I like to let things go is 30%. As you can see, we do have quite a few that are well below that, and that is because we have a lot of items on clearance, so we are trying to sell those, get rid of those. They're a couple years old, so we are taking quite a bit less money for some of those. Looks like 14% would be the lowest profit margin. Yell at me if you see one lower. Nope, looks like that's it. And that was sold on eBay. Let's go look at our Studio Works blouse. It was an old stock. It was on clearance. Was listed, yeah, look at that, August 2021. Ooh, it's been in the bins for a while now, hasn't it? It is an extra large blouse, animal print. So you can see our titles and our keywords, and those have been reworked a couple of times since it's been sold. Nice thing about Vendu is if we go down here, we can see how many times it was listed. So I guess our first, so on the third time, you know, third time's a charm, right? So the third time around, looks like we did finally get it sold. So anyway, let's go ahead and scrape that off. Let's see what they're selling for, what we could have sold it for. I know it's not good to look at what could have been, should have been, but I think it might help understand if we could have done better. Looks like pre-owned sold on those was selling for 14. What did we sell it for? I don't recall. We sold it, yeah, for $13.79, so not too far off. But what killed us was this was back in 2021. We were buying from the Goodwill. We were buying, I guess, on what's called the retail side, not the bins. So we paid up for that. Shouldn't have, but we did. So that hurt us. And then, of course, shipping was taken out of this sales price, as always with eBay. So left us with $2, right? $1.97. It's But another way of looking at it is that we have $5 back. You know, we have our $5 back that we can put towards more inventory. That'll buy a few more blouses these days, certainly more than what it did in 2021. So anyway, that went on clearance. Let's go back. Where are we at? I think we're going to look for an ugly one. And as I said, we didn't have a whole lot of ugly ones. You know what? I want to say that was our ugly one. I jumped ahead of ourselves there, didn't I? So the worst would be, well, I guess we'll go, what was this one? We'll play with this one. Again on eBay. Let's have a look at it. Ooh, look at this. We only have 2 seconds left. I'm going to run over. Let's go ahead and have a look at this one. And then we'll see what else we have going on here on our agenda. Didn't mean to take that much time. Looks like it was an old stock. Hadn't made it to clearance yet. Cost was $5. I think it's a nice sweater, a women's medium. What date was that? Created back in 2021. Probably took an offer on that one. $17 offer. After that was including shipping, so we made $3 on that. Woohoo! Not too bad. We didn't lose money last week. That's always a good thing. Let's bring our agenda back up. See where we're at. We did have a look at Vendu. We looked at some Terapeak. So I think we covered about everything. I know we kind of went over these pretty fast. Maybe I need to start looking at increasing the time. I don't know. We'll see how if these videos become popular or not. If people ask for more time when we go into more. But right now, I think we'll leave it the way they are. Do want to leave before you leave. Go over, as I mentioned, we have another series, Know Your Numbers. That's on Sundays, where I do go into the week as a whole, what our profit was, what our gross revenue was, what our net was. We go into more detail of what the numbers were. Compare that to the week prior, to the month prior, to the year prior. Have a lot of been trying to keep track of a lot of data so we can go back and compare all that. On Thursdays, I do Are We There Yet? Are We There Yet covers where we started, where we're at, and where we're going, and perhaps some strategies that we are looking at, maybe some strategies that we've implemented and how well they're doing. So those might be of interest to you as well. Hey folks, my name is Rich. I'm going to go ahead and cut this off and let you go. I do appreciate your time, and I hope to see you back. Thank you.